Dr. House Season 2 didn't just continue the story of everyone's favorite sarcastic diagnostician, it cemented the show as one of the boldest medical dramas on TV. The cases were stranger, the risks were higher, and the behind-the-scenes stories were just as fascinating as what aired. From cast shakeups to shocking production secrets, Season 2 was where House became a cultural force. These are 20 weird facts about Dr. House Season 2, and the bonus. Let's just say Hugh Laurie himself once admitted he almost broke the entire season with one tiny mistake. Fact 1. Hugh Laurie's real accent shocked executives. During Season 2, many American fans were still unaware Hugh Laurie was British. Even executives were stunned when they first heard his real voice behind the scenes. After one press junket in 2005, a Fox executive reportedly said they felt tricked because Laurie's American accent was so flawless. By Season 2, Laurie had mastered not only the speech patterns, but also the mannerisms of a US doctor so completely that fans and even crew often forgot his real nationality. To maintain consistency, Laurie stayed in character on set, rarely slipping into his natural accent between takes. His commitment elevated House's believability, ensuring that by the time Season 2 aired, audiences across the world fully believed in the grumpy genius from Princeton Plainsboro. It's still considered one of the best accent performances in television history. Fact 2. Cella Ward returned as Stacy Warner. Season 2 brought back Cella Ward as Stacy Warner, House's ex-girlfriend and lawyer for the hospital. Ward had initially only been contracted for Season 1's finale, but returned due to fan enthusiasm. Her storyline added personal depth to House, showing his vulnerabilities and regrets in a way the show hadn't touched before. In fact, the arc was so popular that Fox promoted Ward heavily in marketing campaigns. However, Ward later revealed that her time on the show was bittersweet. While she enjoyed working with Laurie, she felt the series' demanding schedule and darker themes weren't sustainable long-term. Her exit left a gap that the writers filled with other storylines, but her arc remains one of the most defining aspects of Season 2. For many fans, Stacy was the first character who could truly challenge House emotionally. Fact 3. Omar Epps' role expanded dramatically. Dr. Eric Foreman, played by Omar Epps, became a central figure in Season 2. In Season 1, Foreman sometimes felt like the background student, but by Season 2, his clashes with House became one of the show's driving forces. Behind the scenes, Epps pushed for more character development, wanting Foreman to be more than just the neurologist. Writers responded by giving him bigger storylines, like Euphoria, a two-part episode where Foreman contracts a deadly illness. That episode was a turning point not only for the character, but also for Epps, who received critical praise for his performance. By the end of Season 2, Foreman was no longer just House's apprentice. He was emerging as a rival, setting up character conflicts that would carry into future seasons. Fact 4. The writers consulted medical students for cases. While most fans assumed doctors alone provided the show's medical input, Season 2 often pulled from stories submitted by medical students and interns. Writers ran a case idea program where students could suggest unusual conditions they'd read about or studied. One Season 2 episode, Autopsy, which featured a young cancer patient diagnosed with a rare heart condition, was reportedly inspired by a med student's research paper. These real-world contributions gave the show fresh material while still keeping the drama grounded. It also made House one of the few medical shows where students felt their work mattered. Fans noticed the jump in medical variety during Season 2, as the conditions grew more bizarre but also eerily plausible. It kept viewers hooked, wondering if each week's disease was real, and almost always it was. Fact 5. Jennifer Morrison almost left the show. Dr. Allison Cameron, played by Jennifer Morrison, had a rocky journey in Season 2. Behind the scenes, Morrison struggled with the emotional weight of her character's storylines, particularly Cameron's complicated feelings for House. She once admitted in an interview that she felt Cameron wasn't being developed as strongly as her male counterparts, leading her to consider leaving the show. However, the writers assured her that Cameron's depth would grow, especially in later seasons. Season 2 began laying that groundwork, giving Cameron morally complex cases that tested her compassion and resolve. Morrison ultimately decided to stay, and her portrayal of Cameron became an essential part of the original team dynamic. Without her, many of Season 2's emotional beats, like her heart-to-heart with House and failure to communicate, wouldn't have carried the same weight. Fact 6. House's iconic limp was becoming a problem. By Season 2, Hugh Laurie's dedication to House's limp was starting to cause real physical issues. Laurie insisted on limping consistently, even off camera during rehearsals, to keep it believable. The problem? His method acting began to injure his own body. Laurie later admitted he developed pain in his right leg and back from constantly favoring one side. Crew members even urged him to tone down the limp, worried he might hurt himself long term. Despite the concerns, Laurie refused, feeling it was central to House's identity. The toll became so significant that in later seasons, doctors advised him to adjust how he performed the limp. Season 2 marks the point where Laurie's physical commitment crossed into actual health risks, proof of how far he was willing to go for the role. Enjoying these wild facts? Hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next ones. Fact 7. The episode Euphoria nearly had a different ending. The two-part episode Euphoria is one of Season 2's most intense storylines. Foreman contracts a mysterious illness, and House races against time to save him. Originally, the writers considered killing Foreman off to raise the stakes. Omar Epps himself said he was kept in the dark during early script drafts, unsure if his character would survive, but the network pushed back, worried fans would revolt if a major character was killed so soon. Instead, Foreman survived, though the ordeal left lasting scars. The compromise gave the series one of its most suspenseful arcs without derailing the cast dynamic. It's fascinating to think how differently the show might have unfolded if Foreman had died in Season 2. Fact 8. David Shore fought to keep the show dark. Fox executives repeatedly pressured creator David Shore to lighten the tone of House. They wanted more romance, more comedy, and less cynicism, but Shore pushed back, arguing that House's brilliance came from his darkness. Season 2 was when these battles peaked, with episodes like Failure to Communicate showcasing House's harshest side yet. Shore believed that watering down the character would ruin the show, and he was right. Audiences loved the brutal honesty. Eventually, Fox relented, letting Shore keep House's edge intact. Without those fights, Season 2 might have shifted into a much more conventional medical drama, losing the grit that made it unique. The season stands as proof of how creative clashes behind the scenes can shape what ends up on screen. Fact 9. The episode Autopsy won an Emmy. Season 2's standout episode Autopsy, featuring a young girl with terminal cancer, earned writer Lawrence Kaplow a Primetime Emmy Award. The episode stood out for balancing medical mystery with deep emotional storytelling. Kaplow revealed that the script went through multiple rewrites to avoid melodrama, ensuring the focus stayed on the girl's resilience rather than her illness. Critics praised it as one of the series' most poignant hours. It also showcased House's rare moments of compassion, offering a glimpse into his humanity without softening his character too much. Winning the Emmy helped solidify House as more than just another procedural. It was a character-driven drama capable of critical acclaim. For many fans, Autopsy remains one of the most unforgettable episodes of the entire series. Fact 10. Lisa Edelstein helped shape Cuddy's character. Lisa Edelstein, who played Dr. Lisa Cuddy, wasn't content to simply follow the script. During Season 2, she began giving feedback to writers on how Cuddy should balance authority with humor. Edelstein felt Cuddy couldn't just be the boss. She needed depth, charm, and moments of levity to play off House's intensity. Writers took her advice, and by Season 2, Cuddy was a far more fleshed out character, becoming both foil and reluctant ally to House. Edelstein's influence behind the scenes ensured Cuddy wasn't overshadowed by House's big personality. This collaboration between actor and writers helped cement Cuddy as one of the most memorable characters of the series. Fans often credit Season 2 as the year Cuddy truly came into her own. Fact 11. The episode No Reason broke the rules. The Season 2 finale, No Reason, was one of the boldest moves the writers ever made. Instead of a typical case, the episode dove into House's mind after he was shot by a disgruntled patient. Much of the story unfolded in a surreal dream sequence, blurring reality and hallucination. Creator David Shore admitted the idea was risky, worried fans would feel cheated if most of the episode wasn't real, but it ended up being praised as one of the most creative finales in network TV at the time. Hugh Laurie relished the challenge, saying it was the first time House's inner psyche had been explored so deeply. It set the tone for later seasons, proving House wasn't afraid to break format when the story demanded it. Fact 12. Jesse Spencer's music talent got written in. Jesse Spencer, who played Dr. Robert Chase, is a skilled violinist and guitarist in real life. Writers decided to incorporate his musical background into Season 2, giving Chase moments where his talents shine. In Skin Deep, for example, Chase briefly plays an instrument, a subtle nod to Spencer's real-life ability. Spencer revealed that the crew even considered adding a storyline where Chase used music as a stress outlet, though it never fully materialized. Fans who caught these small touches loved the realism it added to his character. Offset, Spencer often played for the cast and crew during downtime, lightening the mood on what was otherwise a very heavy drama. It's one of those little-known facts that blended real talent with fictional storytelling in a seamless way. Fact 13. A real doctor nearly became a writer. During Season 2, the producers considered hiring an actual physician to join the writer's room full-time. While the show already consulted with medical experts, this would have been a first in TV drama, having a licensed doctor shaping every script. Although it didn't happen, doctors still frequently reviewed drafts and corrected details. One physician reportedly flagged an early Season 2 script where a surgery technique was outdated, prompting a rewrite. The writers admitted that keeping medicine realistic while still entertaining was one of their hardest balancing acts. It's why fans often Google conditions after episodes only to find out they're real. Season 2 was the turning point where that reputation for authenticity really solidified. Fact 14. House's cane became a running gag. House's cane wasn't just a prop, it became a running joke and character in its own right. In Season 2, the writers began experimenting with different cane designs, including a flame-decorated one that Hugh Laurie loved. Fans noticed that House often used the cane for comedic timing, like knocking things over or pointing dramatically. Laurie said he enjoyed finding new ways to use it because it gave him more physicality in scenes. The cane even spawned fan merchandise, with replicas sold online during Season 2's height of popularity. What started as a symbol of pain became one of the show's most iconic accessories, helping cement House's unique presence. Without the cane, the character simply wouldn't have had the same visual punch. Fact 15. The episode Skin Deep sparked controversy. In Skin Deep, House treats a teenage model with unexplained symptoms, but the case raises difficult questions about consent, exploitation, and medical ethics. The episode was heavily debated when it aired, with critics calling it one of the show's most provocative stories. Behind the scenes, producers received pushback from network censors who worried the subject matter was too risky for prime time. David Shore defended the episode, saying medical drama should challenge viewers instead of avoiding uncomfortable topics. Hugh Laurie also praised the script for its boldness, though he admitted it was one of the hardest episodes to film emotionally. Today, Skin Deep is remembered as a hallmark of House's willingness to take on taboo issues, further proving Season 2 wasn't afraid to push boundaries. Fact 16. Hugh Laurie rarely reads scripts in advance. Unlike most actors, Hugh Laurie admitted he often avoided reading scripts far ahead of filming. He explained that he wanted to experience the story the same way House would, solving mysteries as they unfolded. By Season 2, this approach became his norm. It sometimes frustrated directors who wanted him to prepare more thoroughly, but Laurie argued it kept his performance authentic. When House was blindsided by a sudden twist, so was was he. Co-stars joked that Laurie's natural confusion in some scenes wasn't acting, it was real. This unusual method gave House a raw, spontaneous edge, making him feel even more unpredictable on screen. It's one of those behind-the-scenes quirks that added depth to the character without fans realizing it. Fact 17. Robert Sean Leonard considered leaving after season 2. Robert Sean Leonard, who played Dr. James Wilson, once admitted he considered leaving after season 2. Unlike some of his co-stars, Leonard wasn't interested in long-term TV fame. He preferred stage acting. The show's grueling schedule and lack of flexibility wore on him, but Hugh Laurie personally convinced him to stay, telling him their friendship dynamic was essential to House's character. Leonard later said he was glad he stuck it out, because Wilson became one of TV's most beloved best friend characters. Season 2 was when that dynamic truly flourished, making it impossible to imagine the show without him. The series' emotional center might have collapsed if Leonard had left so early. Fact 18. Producers hid Easter eggs in episode titles. If you look closely, many season 2 episode titles hide subtle nods to themes or double meanings. For instance, failure to communicate reflects not just the medical case, but also House's struggles with personal relationships. Distractions dealt with both a patient's neurological condition and House's inability to stay focused. Writers admitted they loved planting these Easter eggs, and fans online began compiling lists of hidden meanings. Some even argued that the titles foreshadowed character arcs if you read them closely. Season 2 was when this trend became consistent, turning episode titles into a puzzle for die-hard fans. It added another layer of depth to the show, rewarding those who paid attention. Fact 19. House's wardrobe was Hugh Laurie's idea. House's famously casual wardrobe, t-shirts under blazers, sneakers with dress pants, wasn't originally scripted. Hugh Laurie suggested the look, arguing that House wouldn't care about traditional professionalism. Costume designers agreed, and by season 2, the mismatched look had become a trademark. Laurie even wore some of his own shoes on set, saying it helped him move naturally. The wardrobe choice was so influential that fans began copying House's anti-style, especially the sneakers with suits look. It was a subtle detail, but it reinforced the character's rebellious, rule-breaking nature in a visual way. Without Laurie's input, House might have looked too polished and lost some of his edge. Fact 20. The season 2 finale was filmed twice. The finale, No Reason, was filmed with 2 different endings to prevent leaks. In one version, House survives the shooting with little consequence. In the other, his hallucinations go even darker, including imagined deaths of his team. Only the writers and Hugh Laurie knew which ending would be used until the final cut. This secrecy paid off when fans were shocked by the surreal twist of the chosen version. The cast admitted it was strange filming, multiple truths, but it kept spoilers from leaking online. This approach became a model for later seasons, where fake scripts or alternate scenes were occasionally used to keep surprises intact. It shows how seriously the production valued protecting its biggest twists. Bonus fact: Hugh Laurie nearly lost his voice. During season 2, Hugh Laurie's demanding shooting schedule began to take a toll on his voice. House's gravelly, sarcastic tone wasn't far from Laurie's natural one, but pushing it day after day left him hoarse. At one point, producers worried he might need vocal rest, which could have delayed filming. Laurie pushed through, drinking hot tea constantly between takes and limiting press interviews. Ironically, the slight raspiness that crept into his voice ended up working in his favor, giving House an even rougher edge. Laurie later joked that House sounded more authentic when he sounded like he'd smoked a pack of cigarettes before breakfast. The incident shows how much Laurie physically gave to the role, body, limp, and even voice, for the sake of authenticity. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more TV secrets and behind-the-scenes facts.